Check this out. I'm at the Tsutina Nation. Just dropped off something over there. That's administration building. So here we have police. Tsutina Nation Police Service. And I'm driving and I see that. Does that look familiar? Same wheels. I stopped by, but tires are different, and the front is all clean. Like, looks like it's a newer vehicle, like no paint defects in the front. But looks like, holy moly, I thought this would make total sense because this is southwest of Calgary, very far from my home. What if somebody just stole it to use as a joyride? And of course the license plate is different. I did not check the VIN. Didn't want to attract too much attention, but I looked at tires and the body, the paint, so it doesn't look like mine.
Southeast. Southeast for 3 kilometers.
So yesterday I asked Sirius Guardian to stop tracking on their suggestion, and I said, can we reactivate my Dodge, the app? And they said, yeah, okay, if it doesn't work, just call us back and we'll start tracking again. And so the app updated, and right away it shows me the last known location, and I got so excited I jumped in the Jeep and I drove over there, only of course to discover that there's nothing there. And then I looked closely at the picture, the map, and under that picture with the truck location it says last updated August 6th, 5:20 a.m. Like, imagine, I went to the truck at 5:45, maybe 5:50, and looks like it was just stolen maybe like at around 5 o'clock, because where it was parked, it's 8 kilometers away from my home. So 8 kilometers, so probably took him like 10 minutes to drive. And now I know that it's gone, and that's why hold on one second. So basically at 5:20 a.m. was the last contact between the car and the service, right, the Guardian. And so based on I learned so much, during these days. I learned so much about my Durango I did not know, and how thieves operate and steal them. And for example, turns out that my factory alarm does not cover windows, only doors the hatch and the hood. So there's no sensors on windows. And so that's why they break the window, and they don't open doors like how I thought, okay, you break the window to pull the lock up. No, because they know if they do that, the alarm will sound, and it's like 5 in the morning, might attract some attention. So instead, probably they use one of the guys is very small, so they break the window, clean it up to make sure that there's no sharp pieces, and then they climb inside, and that's when they use their sophisticated tablet with a mechanics diagnostic software to erase the keys, the existing keys, and then the system allows them to reprogram a new key, and they use like a blank key. And so, which means that after they do this, they can hit the button and they can unlock doors, and that's it. So now there's no alarm and they can drive away. And of course, it's all, according to Google, it takes
In 3 kilometers, take exit 260 from 32nd Avenue North.
It takes 2-3 minutes. Hold on, there's a Durango in the front, white one. Let's see if the rear window is broken. No, the rear window is whole. So anyway, so it's all go, right? Because they are in danger of being discovered, and they are in the area where the owner probably lives, right? And so they do it as quickly as possible. They have no time to remove trackers, and that's why that map showed the location. So the car was moved, and now when they park it in a quiet spot, like they did near that playground where I was yesterday, now they have time, and that's when they search the car for any hidden trackers. And I even did not know where the factory GPS is located. So I asked Google, and right away it gives me the answer. In a 2024 Dodge Durango, the factory GPS module is located directly behind the glove box. So if Google knows it, then of course the thieves know. So they're professionals. So once they park the car, 5:20 a.m., I'm guessing that's when they
Take exit 260 from 32nd Avenue.
that's when they unplugged the GPS and all tracking. And that's why, I called Guardian, right? I thought, hey, I'm so smart, I called Sirius Guardian at like 7 o'clock, right?
Take exit 260.
And I was surprised why they were not able to track the vehicle. I called them on the next day, then 2 days later, like 3 days passed, 4 days.
Use the right lane to turn left
They were
on
not
32nd Avenue.
they were not able to see the vehicle. And of course, and now I know why. Because just like everybody said, that's the second thing the thieves do, not the first one. The first one is break the window, clone a key, escape, right?
At the light, use the right lane to
That's
turn
the
left on
priority,
32nd
without being
Avenue
discovered, so
North.
it's fast. Go, 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 go. They don't have time to disable the GPS. And that's the only time when you can actually find the vehicle, And then when they're in the safe spot, that's when they disable all tracking. But then I got a
500 meters, turn right onto 12th Street Northeast.
I got a vehicle health report, right, on the next day. So somehow, and it showed me that it says 8 kilometers away, and that's exactly where the map shows it was at 5:20 a.m. on Thursday when it was stolen, And I also looked into, like I asked AI, what's the success rate of Calgary police in locating stolen vehicles? And to my surprise, it said used to be 90%. Like a few years ago, I think 2 years ago they said used to be 90%. So 9 vehicles out of 10 were returned to their owners. But then because of the more and more sophistication, like technological,
500 meters, turn left onto 27th Avenue Northeast.
all these gadgets, right? The technology is getting better and better, and so now they're saying their rate of success dropped from 90% to 71 in Calgary. 71%, which is actually, honestly, I'm surprised. So 7 cars out of 10 are recovered. So I thought it would be like 2, or 3 out of 10. And they said that one third of all thefts happens because people are basically idiots. They either leave the car running, or they shut it down and leave the keys in the inside, and let's say they
Turn
go,
left onto 27th Avenue Northeast.
let's say they go grab a coffee or something, and they leave keys. And so 30% of all thefts are basically because of the human error.
Continue on 27th
And-
Avenue Northeast for 1.5 kilometers.
And so they were saying, yeah, that's why the recovery rate dropped. First of all, because of much better technology that thieves have now. And secondly, because before they said it used to be that most thefts were just kind of like joyride, like teenagers steal or something, for maybe to commit another crime or something. But nowadays, it's all organized crime. Most vehicles like this, like high-end SUVs, are stolen by organized crime. And I also asked, search on Google, how long do thieves wait after theft before shipping the vehicle overseas? Oh yeah, that's another reason why the recovery went down, is because they ship vehicles right away. They put them in containers, whereas before maybe they just drop it somewhere, right? So now it's all organized. Pick up, put it in a. They said up to 24 hours, 24 to 72 hours. The thieves will wait. They put it in a quiet spot, remove all the trackers, maybe disconnect the battery, I don't know. And then they wait a day or 2 or 3, and that's it. And also, yeah, another reason why it became more difficult for police to recover is because thieves nowadays, they can quickly change the VIN. They somehow do like let's say a salvage vehicle. They steal that VIN number,
Turn right onto Barlow Trail Northeast.
and they use that VIN number, and so they do like fake registrations. Basically, it's very sophisticated nowadays. And so, thinking about this, I was kind of curious myself, like what could I have done? Basically, it never occurred to me that an SUV like this would be stolen. Like, I was really concerned when I had a Hellcat, and on the Hellcat I installed the sophisticated alarm. I installed the cutout thing, like you cannot start the car unless you press some buttons on the dash.
300 meters, turn left onto Sunridge Way Northeast.
That was like $1,400. And so I locked out the neutral gear, installed a lock so they couldn't put it in neutral, but because that was $110,000, but it never occurred to me that somebody would be tempted by a $75,000 Durango. Like, there's much more expensive vehicles. I'm driving actually, and I'm looking.
Turn left onto 23rd Avenue Northeast.
And I'm looking at all these vehicles, like super expensive, Camaros, even trucks nowadays. It's more expensive than my Durango. $85,000, $100,000. Raptors. You see Ford F-150 Raptors everywhere, and they still Durango, almost 2 years old. And so, yeah, what I could have done. Number one. Now I know, I did not know about this, but there's a special kind of like vinyl you can attach to your windows, so that basically it's impossible to break the window. Like the kind of like the windshield where you let's say you hit the windshield, it does not break into pieces, it just cracks, but it stays in place, right? It's done so for safety. And so the similar thing exists where you can attach this kind of like lining or whatever to windows up to like 20 millimeters thickness. Of course, it's probably very expensive, but this way the thieves cannot
Head toward 23rd Avenue Northeast.
the thieves cannot break the window. Of course, unless they, I don't know, use like a bazooka or something, you know. But still, they have to do it very fast, right? So they cannot afford to sit there for 2 hours and break your windows. So they just move on to another vehicle that's easier to steal. And then number two, again, I did not even know this, that my Durango has a neutral lever, kind of like all Challengers and Chargers have it. I didn't even know where it is, but it's somewhere in the middle of there where the shifter is. So I would have installed a lock to prevent easy access to that lever, because then they can just put it in neutral and roll away, or put it on a tow truck, you know. Then number three, I could have bought a lock for the OBD port. Like there's a bunch of them on Amazon. Like, you know, looks kind of like a little padlock with a key.
In 300 meters, turn left into the parking lot.
Of course, it can be broken, but again, it's all about time. It's all about time. You know, make it harder for them to steal. So then they just move on to another vehicle. And then, of course, another thing is
Turn left.
install
Your destination will be on the left.
install some kind of a kill switch. You know, like just a primitive thing that breaks your electric, you know, current. So install it somewhere. That would also make it much more difficult for them to steal. And then same thing I had on the Hellcat, an immobilizer. Immobilizer, unless you know the sequence of buttons to push after you turn the key, the vehicle will never start. And last but not least, another thing I did on Hellcat, by the way, I forgot about this, is
Your destination is on the left.
I went to the dealer and I paid extra to cancel cloning. Basically, you can make it so that the vehicle is locked. You cannot make another key. And he says, if you lose your keys, you'll have to pay us like $500. But that, like, basically that's it. So they cannot create a copy of the key, you know. So yeah, on the Hellcat, I did so many things that for some reason, go there. Okay. And so yeah, the car is gone from the radar, but there's still a little bit of hope because of the police, right? Because of the 71% success rate. Now maybe those 7 cars, and you know, out of 10, so maybe my Durango will get lucky. I don't know. But the insurance guy is calling on 17th. There's another Durango, but right away I see it's RT white, but it has silver wheels. Mine were black. All right, stopping for lunch. One more thing. I saw quite a few Durangos, right? But some of them in the back it says GT, which is a 6-cylinder engine. Some of them had silver wheels. Some of them were, well, like had a rust on the body, so that's definitely not the vehicle. But then it just occurred to me that, wait a second.
South.
So if these guys are so organized
Slight left onto the Alberta
that
2
they
South
can
Bridge,
change
then
your
use the
VIN
right two
number,
lanes to turn slightly right onto the Alberta 2 South
and
Bridge.
they have all this expensive, equipment to create a new key, chances are that they probably have like a shop somewhere, like the chop shop, whatever it's called. So if they have a shop and they have some car parts, especially if they specialize in these, let's say in these Durangos, it would be real easy for them to modify the car. And actually I did a search online. I said, do thieves change the appearance of the car to make it harder for police to recover them? And Google says yes, they can spray paint the car, which would be crazy, but or that much easier, they can apply a vinyl wrap. And actually I saw one Durango and right away I turned away because the hood was black. It was like white Durango, but the hood was black and it said something like Mopar, and I'm an idiot, of course. So pretty much it's impossible to recognize your vehicle if they do this. What also they do, they can cover the original VIN on the dashboard with some fake VIN. They can change the wheels, they can change the color, apply some vinyl wraps. But yeah, like that one that was sitting in the shopping plaza. Oh yeah, and of course they changed the license plate, right? So that one had a different license plate. It had silver wheels, but it was white and it was RT. And I think what they can also do is, but that would be more difficult, they can remove that RT moniker and install GT, but then of course you'll probably see some shadow on the paint. But wheels and license plate and vinyl wrap and cover the VIN, and there's no freaking way you'll recognize your own car, unless my car has a couple of special marks thanks to all these rental customers, so only I know. So so I'm pretty sure if I look closely at the car, especially in the front, I would recognize it. But if they change the wheels, it definitely makes it so much harder to recognize your own vehicle. So my late mom had this saying in Russian: "Все, что не делается, все к лучшему," which can be loosely translated as every cloud has a silver lining. And I was thinking about this, so let's sum up. Is there anything good about me losing the Durango? Well, it had almost 53,000 kilometers. So in 50,000 more kilometers, the warranty would be gone. No more free oil changes. And the contract, the financial contract on that sucker, I remember counting that I would have been paying until I'm 72. 2032. And it's a lot of money. So $928 every month, plus roughly $200 on insurance. So basically, now that the car is gone, I'm gonna be saving like $1,100 every month, like financing plus insurance. Of course, Turo was helping, but now I really got disillusioned, about Turo and Calgary. It's one thing in the States, but here the rates are too cheap. And since I bought the car in October of 24, it was actually quite popular. I remember first time it took probably like a month and a half to get the first customer. But then, since I had the car, I had 25 trips. 25. So in winter, it was like 85, 86 bucks a day, which of course I keep only 75%. So it's like 60 bucks. But in the summer, it was quite good. Like the last customer, he kept it for a week or 10 days. I made $900, you know. But the problem is they kill the car, you know. So rock chips on the front, scratched wheels, discoloration of the leather seats because they spilled some shit on the leather. So basically, I don't think the car would last until 2032. You know, the way people treat it, basically no respect. Like I remember first time I noticed the scratched wheels. You know, I had these nice black aluminum rims, right? And these idiots, they have no idea how to park, so they park too close to the curb, you know. And I think, and I didn't catch who did this. I was, you know, looking just closely and noticed the scratches, and they're like this, so it means that somebody was driving and rubbing against the curb. And so that's the positive. So saved money, no more contract till 2032. Another thing is that now, since I only have one parking spot, now my Jeep will be parked right at my door, you know, so much more convenient. No longer do I have to go on the street and look for parking and then walk to my building. So basically, yeah, there are many positives, and hopefully my bridge insurance will work, and I should just come out of this with zero money out of my own pocket. Oh, and the bank agreed to suspend 2 payments. So basically this month I'm not paying for the car. The only problem is insurance, right? When they change the deductible, so now end of August I'll have to find $1,000 to pay to them because it was their mistake, but they still want me to pay this $1,000 because the premiums went up, right? Because it's the smaller deductible, higher premiums. Well, I'm sitting at home, just got off the phone with Sirius Guardian, because when I ask him to stop tracking the vehicle, right, so that I can use the app, my Dodge, my Dodge started working, but it was stuck in that, you know, mode. It shows the location, but it's old one. It's 5:20 a.m. on August 6th when it was stolen. And so I figured, you know, maybe the thieves, maybe it's not shipped out of the country yet. Maybe it was some kind of a joyride, you know. So maybe since it's been 5 days, so maybe they will relax that nobody's looking for the vehicle, and maybe they might reconnect the GPS, you know, because that GPS module, when you remove it, it also affects other services. Like I think it affects your infotainment system. So basically you want that to be connected, you know. And I'm thinking maybe just by chance they will reconnect that system, because it's like it's not just GPS, it's like I think it's GPS plus entertainment. It's all like one module. And so I called Sirius Guardian, and because they sent me an email before, they said the tracking was stopped at your request. If you wanna to restart it, call us at this number. And so I called them. The lady was very nice, and it took like 5 minutes. They already had all the info, so we just reconfirmed the VIN number, license plate, my name, my phone number, my email, and that's it. And they said the same thing. So they're gonna track it for 7 days. If they don't find it within 7 days, they will let me know, and I can extend it for another 7 days. and they said when they see the location of the vehicle, they will call me, but they will only disclose the location to the police because they don't want people to do what I did yesterday, you know, like driving around and bothering people. Where's my car? Open your garage. Man, those guys were not happy. So cops were not happy either, you know. But I just missed a timestamp, you know. I thought it was current location, and I show up there and there's no car, but there's a house with a garage right at the same spot. So yeah, that was a bit crazy. So yeah, the tracking is restarted. And I asked Google, what are the chances of finding a vehicle in Calgary 5 days after it was stolen? And Google says the chances are still good because it might not have been organized crime ring. It might have been just some idiots, you know, for stealing it for a joyride. Or sometimes, you know, what they do is they steal cars to commit other crimes, right? So because they don't want to use their own cars, of course. Let's say they're going to rob the bank or something. So they steal cars to commit a crime. And so if in those two cases, joyride and stealing for another crime, they will just abandon them after a few days. And they said usually, quite often, they will abandon them within short distance from the spot where it was taken from, you know. And so I checked online ads, you know, 2024 Dodge Durango RT white for sale. And I saw some similar ones, but it's either wheels are different or tires are different or mileage is different. But I'm gonna check. I'm gonna keep checking Facebook and Kijiji. And I had another idea what these guys can do, since everybody says they can swap the VIN number. Like if it's organized crime, that's what they do. They go like really deep into this. And so they can change the appearance of the car and they can swap the VIN number. And I was thinking that probably the easiest way for them to sell the car, to make money, maybe would be through an auction, you know, like let's say Ritchie Brothers or something, you know, like you just, I think rules are not very strict in there. So, and they can fake, again, another Google search gave me this info that they can easily fake a registration, a title. They can, you know, like nowadays, printers are high quality. There's no watermark. Well, actually, there is a watermark. Okay, there's a watermark at bottom left corner, like I'm holding my enlarged copy of my registration. But I'm pretty sure you can easily manipulate this. And so I was thinking that they can register the vehicle for sale at an auction, online auction, with a faked VIN and fake license plate, which is taken from a similar vehicle, let's say from the same Dodge Durango, because, you know, especially white Durangos are super popular, right? There's a lot of them. I see them all the time. So they have the new plate, they have the new VIN, and boom, it's in an auction. So I'm gonna check Ritchie Brothers for for a white Dodge Durango as well.